Stacy. We just want to talk to you a little bit more about the Bible studies that we have coming up in September. This is the book that the women are going to be doing. It's called Better, and it's by Jen Wilkin. It looks like this, and it's a study of Hebrews. And I'm excited about this because the book of Hebrews, even though it's in the New Testament, it ties into the Old Testament a lot. And so Jen Wilkin, I've done a study with her before, and she just has this interesting approach of how to study the Word. And we're going to be looking at context, and we're going to be thinking about the cultural aspects of the verses that we're reading. And it is a pretty deep Bible study. It's a verse by verse Bible study, and it's over 10 weeks. So it's a 10-week commitment, and I just want to let you know what you're getting yourself into. But I think you're ready for this commitment because we will read through Hebrews several times, and you'll probably need about 45 minutes or so to do the 5 different days of study. And then you will meet with your small group probably about an hour, hour and a half. And so that is a pretty good commitment. And I'm just telling you that as you start to read and understand the Word more and more, you're going to want to read and understand the Word more and more. It's just how it is, because as you draw close to God, He's going to draw close to you. And the more you know, the more you love Him, and the more you want to be in the Word. And so I just am excited about this. And you tell us a little bit about your study.
Sure, absolutely. And so for the men, we will be doing a study over the book of James by Matt Chandler. And I've done some studies from Matt Chandler before. I love the way that he just interacts into our lives. And one thing that I love about this particular study is the book of James is a practical book. I always struggled in school with things that didn't have an automatic emphasis in my life. I like the practical aspect of things. I like to know what I can take from it and then put into practice. And often in Scripture, we kind of get lost in that. How do we apply this? How do we do this? Well, I know that this book is going to allow us to see exactly how to put some practical things in our lives from Scripture. And so, for example, it says, equip us to approach the trials and temptations with understanding different challenges to bring us ultimate joy. And I love the way that that's phrased, because it's important for us to know that right now we're facing trials and we're facing challenges. There's nothing that we can do to contradict that. And so I know some of you out there are really struggling in certain areas of your lives. And so this is a time we need to be drawing closer to God and not pulling ourselves back from it.
Right. That's why I think we're ready for this. I think we're ready to take a deeper dive and really commit to a pretty deep Bible study. And along those same lines, I know we've been kind of, quarantining with maybe your neighbors. You've been in contact with certain family, friends, and maybe you've talked about this. Maybe you talked about missing church and missing being in the Word a little bit more, missing being led spiritually, missing that just that fellowship with other people. We can fellowship with each other, and we can be there for each other, even if it's over Zoom. We can hold each other accountable. We can still do that over Zoom. And so I challenge you, just in context of what Chris have been talking about, being on mission, let this be something that you can do to go out and be on mission, and invite your neighbor or your coworker or someone that would like to be in the Word more. Invite them to do this with you. Y'all can be in the same small group. Just, when you sign up for the group, let's just mention it to one of us that you want to be sure to be in that same group with your neighbor or coworker. They don't have to go to our church.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the Word is for everybody. And so make sure to reach out to them and let them know a few things that you're going to want to know to do. If you're like, oh yeah, I'm in on this. One, you got to purchase the book. I think it's around 12, 13 books for each of these books. But you're going to want to go on Amazon or Lifeway, and find this and be able to get it so that you'll be ready when we start the middle of September with this study.
Right. And each group will have a different disciple group leader. And basically what I mean by the disciple group, for the women anyways, we're going to be disciple groups, because part of being on mission, you know, the commission statement says to go and make disciples. Well, we're disciples and we're called to make disciples. And what are disciples? Disciples are followers of Christ. And this is how we follow him. We are in the Word, and this is our instruction book. We're growing closer to him. And so we're going to be disciple groups. And we are going to hold each other accountable. We're going to pray for each other and be there for each other. When you got a prayer request, you're going to text your disciple group. When you need some encouragement or you have a question about what you read that day in the Bible, you can text your disciple group, and we're going to help each other through this study. And it's going to be a bond during this 10 weeks, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. And men, you know, we don't get into a lot of the mushy stuff, but it's important to have prayer warriors and people on your side. And right now, I know that there's so many of us that feel like we're out here floating alone, and we're struggling to try to keep maybe our lives and our families afloat. Well, that's the tool of the devil, is to make us feel that we're alone. And so know that you don't have to be. So ours is a 13-week session, but we're men, so I think we can do it in 10.
Oh, gosh.
So, you know, we'll just put the pedal to the metal, and we'll get there and get through it together. And I look forward to going through this experience with you.
Sign up!
God bless, guys. Take care. See you soon.